So I decided it was time to do another video. I do a lot of research. I read a lot. And, it came to my attention with all the research that I'm doing that a lot of our American icons are being attacked. They're under attack. I saw another video on this today on TikTok. Because, TikTok is a free speech platform. Whether they're tracking our data, are they tracking our data any less than any other platform? And do we care? But I've only heard one other person say this. Attacking one of our big, iconic name brands in the United States is one thing, but now we're starting to see it over and over. Nike. Kaepernick. Dude's half white, and he was adopted by white people, and he took a knee and is calling racism. None of this makes sense. Budweiser. So here's what I learned about Budweiser. It started back in the 1850s. By 1870, they had started hiring a lot of German immigrants. As the influx of immigration at that time, they were instrumental in the pasteurization of beer, and they created the ice cars, the rail cars for refrigerated beer. They give to all communities, if you ask. They're, I wrote a story yesterday about their sponsoring pride parades. And just a little research shows that they not only support the pride parades, but they'll pretty much give money to any parade if you ask them for it. They give a lot of money to communities. Stella, whatever it is, Stella Beer, and water.org have brought water and sanitation to 4.5 million people around the world. And Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch stepped up and invested billions to get the nation back out of lockdown. They helped, and we don't even see this. It's like behind the scenes. But here's what I've noticed about the research that I've done on these different corporations. If you look, I think that Budweiser was taken over by a hostile merger. I'm not a big investment person. I don't understand this. But remember in the 80s when there were all these hostile takeovers, and you don't hear about it anymore, probably because all the big corporations were already taken over. But InBev took over Budweiser, and they now have over 100 different brands. So who knows how many different corporations they took over. But for sure, Anheuser-Busch, and I think it was hostile. I think it was a hostile takeover. And something happened with our corporations. It's a very definitive line after lockdown. So when all of a sudden we're hearing this diversity, equity, and inclusion, and women are now at the heads of these different corporations at different areas where they're pushing this. It's not coming from these women. It's not coming from the CEOs. It's not even coming from, they hired somebody who is a former CIA agent as the CEO for the American branch of Anheuser-Busch InBev. Okay? His name is Brendan. And so when you see this, it's like it was a very linear line linear line. And it happened after lockdown. Think about lockdown. Now, I was working for a company that I got fired the day of lockdown. Fired. And my insurance canceled less than 30 days later. I called the corporation head and I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to cancel my insurance after I paid for 10 years, haven't used it. I've paid it in good faith and you're going to shut down my insurance? You know, technically there probably should have been a pool so that if anybody got sick, that we would have been covered. But they knew the government was going to cover it. They knew that we were going to get unemployment straight across the board. How did they know that? It's not because of Bill Gates and it's bigger than that. They knew. Who designed this? It was all planned. It was all designed. And now you see these corporations. And I'm going to tell you this. This is my feeling about it. Everybody's looking at getting their money out of the bank. I'll tell you what. I have no investments. The small investment I had, I took out just prior to lockdown. Thank God. Because, and because of lockdown, I didn't have to pay taxes on it. Anyway, but I look at the whole system and how it is set up, and everybody's doing these boycotts on American corporations. Nike, Target. Come on, who started who is their buyer? It's not a matter of who is, it's the corporation, but who's their buyer? Let's look at the people who are actually doing this and pushing the agenda. It's not hard to find them. They're all on the corporate page. It's real easy to find these people, but it's higher than that. It goes above that. Who is it? BlackRock? Vanguard? State Street? If you get a 401k, a CD, an IRA, you get a 401k, anything like that, fucking pull your money. Take the loss. I'm telling you, they're fucking us. And until you want to boycott, that's how you fucking boycott. Pull your money. Put it into gold. Real gold, not paper gold. Put it into gold. Put it into silver, platinum, copper. Buy hard. I don't even know what it's called. Like I said, I'm not an investment person. All I know is we got fucked. And they're still fucking us. It is, and it's coming from this mysterious, it's like being Don Quixote and chasing windmills. We don't know who the fuck it is. So you can't fight an invisible force. Today, some woman on Twitter, I read a little thing that why are MAGA people so pissed off? We're pissed off because they stole the election. We can't talk about it because it's illegal. And most people have just forgotten. They're gonna steal it again. This is planned. They stole our country. It was a coup. And we let them. I pray to God that Q is real. I pray to God that the white hats are in charge. I pray to God that everything that I was told by a white hat once removed, that it's all true. Because if it's not, we're seriously going to hell. Come on. They wanted to pull Andrew Jackson's statue. That should have rang all sorts of bells. Reparations. I know a lot about reparations too. And let me tell you, the person who is speaking the loudest, I believe, is the one who will receive the biggest portion of reparations. Fuck him. Fuck anybody who wants reparations. Reparations were paid in blood. Dude, I got a lot to say. I do a lot of research. I have to be accurate. I know the numbers. I'm not accurate here. I'm not getting paid. I get paid. I'll give the actual data. I can give the links. I've done the research. 620,000 Americans died in Civil War. 1.5 million casualties. That's those who came home with no limbs, a missing limb. 1 in 4 didn't even come home. Yeah, reparations. Giving money to people who never were slaves. 40 mules and a horse. I'm sorry, 40 acres and a mule. Give him 40 mules. Give him 40 acres and a mule. See what they can do with it. Not even opposed to that. $1.5 million, $500 million, $200 million. It's all magic money. It's all a fucking lie. That's all I got. Y'all have fun. I know way too much.